That shit looked dry as hell, man.
I just wiped it in the bathroom too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is that what
I
happens?
feel like, yo, caffeine. If I eat or drink anything, I'm drenched in sweat.
Oh, that's why. You just start sweating.
Yeah, I just start sweating like a motherfucker. I got the crazy glisten going on once I start to eat or drink. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I was sucking on a piece of candy. I don't know what the fuck happened."
I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden I feel like I just ran a marathon.
Exactly.
I feel like after your warm up with boxing, the bear
Fucking
crawls.
drenched.
I'm so mad when we do that. When you go, all right,
You
Nick.
should have fucking jumped in one marina, bro.
Well, I had shit going on. I had to get a video to a client. I just couldn't skip it, and I knew that I would
Either
train.
way, next week we got to do it. We got to do more.
Done. I knew I would train at some point. I want to do the one. I want to do once a week with you.
Let's do it.
I want to do once a week.
We'll pick the day and we'll just put it in right. I say Tuesday around the 10:30 time will be perfect to keep every week.
That's fine.
Tuesday's not a day I travel on. I am open at 10:30 on Tuesdays. It's perfect, and I could just stay right there and just get right into legs.
I've told so many people that they need to train with you. But I always knew that you were very good at your profession and your job, which, years of experience in fighting and training with athletes and whatnot. But actually working with you is totally different. Like I have friends that have little sisters or siblings and this and that definitely don't know how to defend themselves. So I go, yo, even if you just take 1 or 2 lessons, it's imperative that at least how to throw a punch the correct way.
I'm a firm believer in that. Obviously, I'm not a believer in it because it's what I do, but I'm a believer in it because of just basically how I was brought up and like I have a little one. Like this morning even, I'm putting her in a car, and she's like, oh, she sees my mitts in the back, and she's like, "Daddy, hold it for me. Let me punch." I said, "Cool." So I just grab it real quick, hold it. She throws a couple punches. She's like, "And I got to keep my hands up, right? Keep my chin down. You don't want to see my face." And I'm like, "Exactly." I was like, "Babe, we got to work on it. We got to keep working on it because we got to get better." She's like, "I'm not good." I'm like, "I don't ever want you to think you're good. I can't tell you you're good because then you're going to relax." And she's like, "But," I said, "Nope." I said, "Daddy doesn't want to hear he's good. We always got to work." I was like, and I'm glad that you've taken a liking to it because it makes it easier for me to teach you. But I said, the reason I'm doing this is because as you get older, sometimes you may have disagreements with people that could end up being, they can get a little touchy, a little, physical. And I just want you to be able to protect yourself. And she's like, yeah. And when you get old and you can't wear the bat suit, I'll do it. I was like, that's my girl.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
She's no joke. So
she's a savage.
When I have on the weekends, like I'll and I'm putting her to sleep, she'll be dozing off, and she's like, "Daddy, I know you have to leave probably in the middle of the night to save people, so I've been working on my kickboxing. So if you need help, you can wake me." I said, "Oh, I fucking love this girl. I swear to God, she's literally my heart. Bro. I literally melt with this girl. She's literally everything, dude.
Your kryptonite. That's your kryptonite.
God,
right there.
yes.
That's it.
And the funny thing is, when I first found out I was gonna have a baby, literally everybody was like, "You want a boy, don't you?" I was like, "No, I don't know why." Deep down, I don't know if it's God or what, but I want a little girl. I want a little girl that I can protect, that I can just love and just like I don't know. It just the feeling of wanting a little girl. I don't know why, because I guess a lot of people thought with my personality and my energy that I would definitely want like a little ruffian of a boy. And I do, and I got that eventually. But, I definitely wanted a girl first. And it's been, I think it was great because I think at the time of my life, I think deep down I needed a girl to calm me down.
I've been asked that a lot of times, when you're ready to have kids or you find the right one and you do eventually have children. If I do, would you like a male or female? Like, what do you want? And every single time I just say, I don't care as long as it's healthy. That's all I care about.
That's
all I care about.
All I
would
wanted
love
was a
to have a
healthy
daughter.
baby, guaranteed.
I would love to have a son. Either way, they're still going to be my training buddy. They're still going to be coming to the gym with me. Still my right or left hand man and woman. Like, whatever it is, that's going to be my pride and joy right there. So I've always felt that it doesn't matter to me. You know how many guys I know that constantly say, "I hope I don't have a daughter. I hope I don't have a daughter." It's like, okay, yo, dude, but regardless, like, what are you worried about when she eventually grows up and she starts dating guys? It's gonna happen. That's life, dude. Yo. You gotta mature.
Have a good time with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do?
That could be a future like partner in crime for you too with the son-in-law.
I'm telling you right now, like I literally 100%. I make up these scenarios in my head about what I'm gonna do when she starts dating, when she gets older, shit like that. I mean, I'm literally to the point where I'm like, all right, cool. So when she's coming home from school and she's a teenager and she's on the bus, I'm gonna be standing outside with my oldest pair of underwear with holes on it. Maybe a ball might be hanging out. I don't know. Chancletas with only one sock, not two socks on each feet. Okay? And I'm gonna be mowing the lawn in the wintertime with a knife.
Right through the snow.
With a knife. Each blade has got to be perfectly cut. And they're gonna be like, that girl, she's cute as hell. I think I'm gonna talk to her. And I want people to be like, I don't know, man. Her pops is a little to the left, bro. You see the dude over there on his hands and knees, half naked in the wintertime, cutting the lawn with a knife? That's her pops.
Why is he on all fours?
But he just did the lawn yesterday. That's exactly what I want to do.
Like the hurricane winds we had last night. Yeah. You're out there.
I'm out there. I ain't got no hair to worry about getting messed up.
Scarf blowing in the breeze.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a scarf.
I don't give a shit. I make up these little scenarios. Like, I'm like, I have a good time. Her first date. I'm like, listen here, man, don't spend your own money, little man. Like, take this money here. I'm going to give it to you. Where you guys going? Have a good time. Have her home by 12. By the time they get to the restaurant and they order a drink or something like that, the waiter's going to be like, hey, listen, this round of drinks on that guy sitting over there. And I'm going to be like, what's up, homie?
Yo, I'm dead.
Got my eye on you, fam.
Yo.
We here.
Can I please be part of that?
And I'm telling you right now, you know my cousins, they're fucking huge. We're all gonna be sitting there like, you think the 50 Cent scene in that movie was funny? No, that's nothing. That's nothing for what I have planned for these boys. I can't wait. I'm gonna have a good time with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have a great time with it. I'll tell you what I do when people come to drop off food for me, right?
Yes. Please explain to everybody what you do when people come to drop off food.
Usually the people I do it the most with is like if I'm ordering Chinese, because they are so awkward in dealing with people, it's unbelievable. So what I do is I have these pair of underwear. It's got holes all over it. And if I'm like, all right, I'm ordering food, I'll order food. And when the doorbell rings, I'll strip down and put on just those underwear. And I'll put the money in like one of the holes. And I'll run and open the door. And he'll be like, what the? And I'm like, oh, good, thanks for the food. I'll grab it both hands and be like, shit, you know what? There, the money's right there, grab it. It's right there in my pants, it's in the hole. You see it? Grab the money. The tip's in there too already. You're good. Take it. And I'm following out the door, trying to get them to take it out of my waist. And sure enough, they're like, okay, thank you.
There you go.
I'm like, there you go. All right. Do anything for that cash, and I won't you. I'll talk to you later. Call you next week. And I'm out. But just that's me having a good time. I just like to do silly shit.
Yeah, it's not you trying to be a dick. You're just trying to have a good time.
I just whatever. And I'm gonna do the same thing when my daughter gets older and starts to date.
I need to be there.
Have a good time.
I need to be there.
Come through.
This is my cameraman Nick. He's gonna film all of our interactions together.
We're gonna have a good time. I already told her too. I said, listen, you see how you give me a kiss before school when I drop you off? I said, this is gonna be an always thing. You know that, right? I don't care if you're in your first year of college. I will come to your classroom if you walk away from me because you're worried about your friends, worried about giving your daddy a kiss. You're going to give me my kiss, goddammit. And you're going to give me a hug and show me love because Lord knows if I'm going to be here later on. I was like, that's the only reason. That is it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I love hard, fam. So it's like, I'm a very passionate dude. I think people can tell that. If I hate you, if I dislike you, there's no dislike you. I hate you, bro. It's either I love you or I hate you. There's some little in-betweens where like, yeah, whatever. I just don't care enough to put forth any energy. But if you're my boy, I love you, bro. I'll do anything for you. If you're my girl, oh, my God. Like, please. I'm like taking a bullet is nothing for you. My children? Oh, my God, man. I love hard, bro. But I hate hard, too. I get mad hard, too. I fight hard, too. Like, that's just how it is for me. It's
no.
all... I'm just a very passionate person, and that's just how it is. Like when I tell my kids, they're like the other day, my daughter's like, we have sports day at school. And I was like, oh, so you're going to win, right? And she's like, Daddy, it's just about having a good time. I said, okay, so let me ask you this. Who told you that? She's like, my teacher. I said, okay. So can I ask you, do you have a better time when you lose or when you win? And she's like, when I win. I said, so if you're going to have a good time, you should probably win, right? I said, I'm going to fill you in a little secret. People who tell you you're going to participate in an event that has a first, second, and third place trophy and tell you to participate just for fun, they're losers. Okay? There is no second place. You participate to win. Now, if you participate to lose, don't bother. We won't be there. That's not the energy we bring to the table at all. You don't participate to lose. You participate to win. Now, if you take the L, putting forth your best, like putting your best foot forward, then that's cool. That's fine. We're going to learn from it. We'll get better from it. But you're not going to go in there thinking about second place, thinking about third place. I just don't want you competing at all. You have to train and compete like you're going to win. That's the objective. The moment you make losing comfortable, don't bother doing it. Losing should never feel comfortable. Losing should never be fun. You should never have a good time losing. That's bullshit. I've never had a good time losing. Even if it's a pickup game at the basketball court, I do not want to lose. My team could be shit. I still want to win. Will I understand why we lost? I guess. But I don't want to lose. Losing is never fun. So, second place, third place, that's not what you shoot for. So I said, if you have a better time winning, then you got to go out there and win. And she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you can be a graceful person when you don't get first place, but you be graceful here in front of people. And when you leave, you dissect what went wrong. And then we fix it.
Go back to the arena and you.
I said, and I told her, just like if somebody gets, if you're getting in trouble in school and, you don't ever cry in front of a teacher, don't cry in front of a student, nothing. You wait. When you get in the car, cry with me. But you'll never show no kinks in your arm or no weakness, ever. You hold it in. Even if you don't want to talk, just don't talk because you feel like the first word, that the first time your mouth opens to form a word, tears will come as well. Don't talk. Turtle up, shut it down. When I come and get you, we'll cry in the car, and we'll break it down then. Don't ever show anybody anything else. She's like, I realize she's only 6. So people think I'm nuts. Like my cousin is just like, Jay, you being there hard. I'm like, yeah, because you know what? I'm just they're sponges. I'm trying to instill this kind of energy.
You're laying the foundation work.
From jump. Like I tell them, snitches get stitches. If you come here and tattle on your brother for doing something, I'm going to beat you too. I'm going to whoop his ass because he did something. But I have to whoop you too because you're tattling on him. You guys go and sort it out on your own. Figure it out.
You're teaching adult shit at a young age.
Figure it out. You always will. Because you know what? You're going to come tattle. He's going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. 2 minutes later, you guys are back playing again like nothing ever happened. So obviously, it's not that serious. So figure it out. If we're out at like a theme park or something like that and they're arguing, I'm like, okay, cool. Pack it up. We're out. We're going home. What do you mean? I said, you guys can't seem to get along, so we're going to go home. No, we're fine. And all of a sudden, they're good. It's not that serious. It's easy. It's cool. And that's that. And that's just how I do it. The other day, it was a couple of months ago. My daughter's like, Dad, you like my new hairstyle? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you cut your hair? And she's like, no. I said, babe, you cut your... Why is there staircases in your hair? And she's like, my hair grows like that. I'm like, no. Call your cousin. So then my niece comes out. I'm like, what's going on? So my niece is like, no, we didn't do it. My daughter, no, we didn't do it. So my brother takes his daughter in the room. I take my daughter in the room and we're talking. And my daughter's like, no, Daddy, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't cut it. It's not cut. That's just how my hair grows. To this day, she's like, she take it to her grave. I hear my brother in the room. I'm going to smack the shit out you. Because she's older. My niece, she's older than my daughter. Did you cut her hair? She made the first cut, and then she told me to help her. So I helped her. My daughter's standing right there. I look at her. I'm like, I'm going to ask you again. Did you cut your hair? She's like, no. Did your cousin cut your hair? No. I'm like, my brother's sitting there, and he's like, well, what do we do? I'm like, just let them go. Like, whatever. Like, her hair's going to grow back. Like, it is what it is. Just let them go, So they walk off, quiet as ever, the two of them. My niece is crying. My daughter's like, whatever. And he's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? I said, what do you mean? He's like, our kids would be in jail if it was up to my daughter. He said, your daughter's going to go to her grave with that. I said, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I said, well, we're here together all the time. I said, you hear me? You hear the way I talk to him? Like I do talk, baby talk, and I love them up. I snuggle and cuddle with them as much as possible. But at the same time, I try to be as militant as possible as well.
You told her she's grown.
I have to. I just feel like it's better. You can't just be babying all the time.
Well, we're in a generation of softness now. We're in that gap year.
I'm trying to fight that, dude.
The gap decade, I should say. That's what we're kind of in now.
I'm really trying to fight that.
And we need that old head mentality of tough love, but real love at the same time. And, not everything is sunshine and flowers and all that jazz. That life is difficult and hard, and you have to be able to stand up for your own, and you also have to be able to have a strong spine, because not a lot of people do have strong spines nowadays. They're weak. They roll over, belly up, the first chance they get. We're seeing it all over the place now.
It's bad.
I hate bringing COVID shit up. I really do, because I want to get back to a question that I was going to ask you as a father. But you're seeing it with the COVID measures being restricted. Everything was restricted. You saw all the people that finally got a chance to feel like powerful, where they could tell people what to do, put a mask on, do this, do that. Now all the restrictions are pulling back because they realize no one believes them anymore, and we are not living like this anymore. You've taken 2 years of our fucking lives.
Thank God people start to refuse.
But there's actually people, I already saw a University of Nevada. There were students protesting to put masks back on. That is a mental weakness.
Of course,
if you are that scared, stay home. No one's
They're
going to fault you.
They're giving you the opportunity to stay home.
No one's going to fault you.
So go ahead.
No one's going to fault you. If you are that afraid of getting sick, no one's going to fault you. However, chances are all of those students have had the vaccine. Chances are all those students have probably had COVID at some point.
Of course.
So what's left to fear? That's my question. And it's that mental weakness.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's the fear porn that they're constantly fed. The world's going to end, and this is the worst thing ever, and the new variants. And they just harness that shit, and they get scared, and I don't know how to take any of this information in. Because they were never taught at a young age to be strong, be independent, think for yourself.
Well,
you're teaching your daughter,
like,
and your son.
if you sit there and think about it, right? Our generations and the older generations, we strive off human interaction. It's a wonderful thing, man. I'm sorry. Like I always say, I just don't like people. I don't like people. When I say that, I don't like people because of their hidden agendas. Some people just don't have morals, their attitudes, shit like that. That's the reason, right? Just a level of disrespect some people will have. If I try to give people the utmost respect off jump. How you conduct yourself and what you do afterwards is what's going to drop that level of respect I have for you to the point where I just don't have any respect, and then it's just fuck yourself. So
everybody starts at an even playing field.
Everybody's.
That's for me too. I don't care who, nationality, color, doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter anything.
Everyone starts out even, and
it's what you do
and your actions and how you act. That changes my perception of how I treat you.
So with all the use of cell phones and social media and all that, the human interaction part is slowly just diminishing. And they're kind of accustomed to it to the point where they feel like doing schooling, college schooling at that, online is okay. The part that I don't think a lot of people realize about what college is, I mean, look, man, you get an education in college, but really the education you get from college is time management, okay? How to deal with people, okay? Making friends, relationships, right? Because when you leave college now, you're looking for a job. You're hoping that some relationship you've made or an internship you've made because of college is going to help you. Because it's not always just your education and your degree that's going to get you a job, that's going to put you ahead. It's not just that.
Basic networking skills.
Exactly. This is what it's all about. And they're comfortable with not having that because they haven't had it. They're not as in tuned or in need of just that social interaction, physical interaction that we were. But the problem with that is you lose that skill of being social, right? A lot of these people now, they can't sit down and have a full-blown conversation with you in the face, but they can text the shit out of you.
Yep.
They can send the fuck out of an email, right? They could DM the fuck out of you. But to sit down and have a conversation in person, face-to-face, it's like you're speaking to a mental midget.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on here?
Socially awkward, no eye contact. Like, we sit here the entire podcast almost
Yeah.
locked on each other. Like it's
100%.
because it's respect thing. We're both talking. We want to show respect to the other person. I'm engaging with you.
Exactly.
My eyes aren't anywhere else and looking elsewhere. And there's nothing else on my mind besides what we're talking about. Well, for me, there's a little more on my mind. Like make sure the cameras are still on in the audio.
Yeah.
But yes,
The working mind.
yes, it's a working side mind.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very strange gap decades that we're gonna have to deal with now. And you know, I'll tell you what broke my heart. What broke my heart the other day was I was at Chipotle. I don't think I told you this. I went with Dylan after we worked out. We walk in there. Now, technically, mask mandates are done. I haven't worn one basically this entire time. Just if I had to at a certain spot, like a doctor's office,
of course.
airplane, I wore it. You know, because I don't want to argue with people. But for the most part, I wasn't wearing them in grocery stores. I wasn't wearing them out, this and that. I saw a lot of that as a control tactic and a bullshit measure, especially when you had studies from various universities around the world, Cambridge, Harvard, all this stuff that said they don't really do much. So that's here nor there. Regardless, I walk into Chipotle with Dylan. We finished our workout, and there was a mother and her daughter, the only two people in the place masked up. So I was like, whatever. It is what it is. People are still going to feel the way they want to feel. That's your opinion. That's how you feel on things. I think that if you want to wear the mask, that's fine. But you should take that off your kid who has basically a 0% statistical chance of having any type of issues with getting sick, getting COVID, this and that. And you're actually affecting her immune system negatively from having to wear that all the time.
Exactly.
Once again, here nor there. So I walk up and I'm standing behind her. Now, the little girl turns around. She must have been probably your daughter's age, 6, 7. She turns around, notices that Dylan and I don't have our masks on. She hides around the other side of her mother.
I've seen that.
And I'm
had that happen.
I tell Dylan, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And it's not crazy because she's at fault for this. It's been ingrained in her mind the last 2 years with her parents probably being over crazy. Put the mask on. You don't talk to other kids. Don't touch anybody. Don't do this. Make sure you use your hand sanitizer. And this. And once again, I'm not going to sit here and put all blame on them. Mainstream media and all these different narratives that have literally fooled themselves and crisscrossed and contradicted everything that they've said in the beginning, and even months later and years later.
Yeah, of course.
They contradict themselves every couple of weeks now. But
it's always going to be a huge contradiction,
dude. The entire time she's ordering the food, she's a couple stops down, like a couple feet away from me, whatever. She still looks at me, grabbing onto her mom, looks at me, and then runs around the other side again. Like this wasn't a shy thing. She was actually nervous and fearful that I didn't have a mask on.
Yeah,
and I know that she's not the only one. There's going to be a lot of kids like that. And it's going to be very weird and interesting to see how the mentality of this group of kids goes going forward. Because listen, you send your daughter off to school and this and that. And she's being indoctrinated with whatever they want to teach her while she's there.
It's funny you say that because I every chance I get, I tell them, I said, when you go into school, every chance you get, take your mask off. And she's like, both her and my son were like, yeah, but Daddy, we're not supposed to. I said, when you go to the bathroom, take your mask off. When you go outside, take your mask off. Okay? Every once in a while, let it just fall beneath your nose a little bit until somebody tells you to put it back up.
And breathe out your nose.
And the moment you step out and school is done, you take the mask off. You're never putting it back on again until the next day you have to go to school. Okay? So when today, when I dropped my daughter off, she's like, I want to go to dinner tonight. Can you take me to dinner? And I was like, sure. Where do you want to go? She wants to go to Thomas's. She wants to do breakfast for dinner. I said, yeah.
Love that.
Sure, let's do it.
Boss move.
I said, as soon as you get out of school, I'm going to come get you and your brother and we'll go. She, we'll walk in. She knows. Like if she comes out of school and I have the opportunity to pick her up, literally, she walks right out and she just pulls it right off, sticks it right in her bag, and comes along her way. And that's that. And I just want to. I'm not like getting into the details that much with them, but I'm trying to explain to them that you do need to breathe fresh air on a regular basis.
You need to be exposed to germs to have your immune system continue fighting these germs and get stronger.
Exactly. So I said, every chance you get, my loves, just pull your mask down a little bit or take it off.
Think about what you did as a kid. Drinking out garden hoses.
Come on, garden hoses, fucking
mud,
eating
come
shit. On, get out of here.
And were we ever sick?
No.
Like crazy sick?
Everybody's fine.
Maybe a cold here and there, if that. I mean, I could say for myself, before all this COVID stuff, I think I would get actually sick. And I'm not saying sick like flu sick. I've never had the flu. And I went to school when swine flu was around. And there were kids in my school that got it.
Yeah.
I think I've been sick over the last 10 years, maybe 4 times, 3 times, if that.
Mm-hmm.
No mask? Yeah. Before all this shit, no, nothing. We all lived our lives, man.
Yeah.
And you get exposed to things, your body fights them off, and it gets stronger. And that's life too. That's the gym. That's business. That's just everything. You are exposed to different things. It's a good little transition like that. You're exposed to different things, and eventually you just keep getting stronger and tougher from them. And that's
Agreed.
what this whole thing is. That's what this whole thing needs to be about. It needs to be about. Okay, we got the last 2 years of us semi-robbed.
Of course, they're done.
We got to move forward. We got to get this shit going. We got to get this shit moving in the right direction. And that's what, I saw that broke my fucking heart when I saw that little girl because she's gonna be.
I've seen that. I've seen that too. I've witnessed it like firsthand. So.
And I forget the study, but I'd have to look it up. So forgive me. But there was a study done that, and like you're saying, social interactions for children. It's facial expressions. It's everything like that.
Yes.
This is gonna stunt a lot of learning for a lot of kids around the world, not just in the United States. This is a worldwide problem.
Yes, agreed.
So, and my question to you was going to be, as a father, as far as the winning stuff, and the mentality that they're feeding a lot of children of it's okay to just participate and try and this and that, or giving out trophies for like that. Do you feel that that's the generation before me or my generation that's teaching that now, and that's okay with that mediocrity?
I think. I don't know what generation it is, but all I know is, once again, this is here I am saying it again, and I will own saying it, but it's literally how you pussify our culture and our society. So back in the day, when I played sports, everyone did not get a trophy for participation.
Love that.
You got a trophy for standing out. Why? Because you either put forth more work and you did more and you did better, or well. Okay? So what's going on here? Like, what you get praised for just showing up now? What is that? So technically, if that's what you guys are doing, get rid of grades. They showed up in school. They showed up. They all should pass. Right? But if you're not doing it in school and you got to get good grades and you got to have certain averages to pass and get into college, why would you do that when it comes to sports? Like back in the day, I remember sitting down and speaking to my football coach with my mother for parent-teacher conference. He actually happened to be my health teacher as well. And a wide receiver was outside with his mother. And he didn't get any playing time. We're halfway through the season or whatever. And the coach is ranting to my mom about me, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. This is the only parent-teacher conference segment that I'm not going to get my ass whooped for. I was like, so this is perfect. And the kid's mother storms in the room during our conference. And she's like, Mr. Didio, we need to talk. Why has my son not seen the field? He's like, ma'am, I'll speak to you as soon as I'm done here. She said, no, we need to speak now. He gets up, he says, excuse me 1 second. You want to know why your son hasn't seen the field? It's because he's trash. He's garbage. He can't do shit. The kid can run fast, but he can't catch the ball or make a tackle. And I'll promise you now, we will be up 75-0. And I will put every single person in the game to get some playing time, except for your son now. And you can thank yourself for that. I'm the coach. I pick who plays. We need to win. I want to win. Your son wants to win. He knows good and damn well we ain't winning with him on the field. And my man's just sitting with his head down. That's how coaches spoke to parents that try to butt in on why my kid isn't playing. Nowadays, the moment a parent opens their mouth, the coach immediately throws their kid in. Winning is out the door. It's all about participation. No, it's not. You're teaching the wrong thing. Okay? If it's little kids and you're like, I just want you guys to learn and all that stuff, yes, I get it.
You gotta cycle them
But
through.
once it's to the point where you're part of a league and there's finals, there's championships, there's a winning code you have to shoot for. There is no just participating. There is no, all right, I made the team, so I'm going to sit the bench, ride the bench the whole season and get a trophy for it. For what? Just for being here? So what's the difference between getting an MVP trophy and a trophy for just being on the team?
Neither.
What, the size of the trophy? What makes you want to be MVP? Because you get sitting down in the auditorium and they call your name because you worked hard. You busted your ass and you outplayed everyone because you had the desire to. You had the work ethic to. You had the athleticism to. And you get up and you walk up to the podium and you accept that award and you are fucking ecstatic. And you go back to your seat feeling great. And all the other kids are looking like, damn, I wonder how that feels. You know what? That dude does wake up every morning and go work out. That dude does stay after practice and do more. Maybe I should. But the moment you stop that and give everyone a trophy, it's never like, I should do what the winners are doing. Never. You're just desensitizing the whole situation. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Everyone should get a Heisman Trophy then.
Yeah. Just give trophies out. Yeah. Participation trophy for everyone.
Yeah.
What is that?
And then there shouldn't be a winner or loser in UFC either then, right?
No.
The guy who
just
gets knocked,
fight.
The guy who gets
we'll
knocked
pay you both the same amount.
Guy who gets knocked the fuck out should still be
no records, no nothing.
Nothing at all across the entire board.
Nothing at all. So I'm just like, I just don't understand that. Like, I would never want my kid, and I know if this happens, I know I'm gonna get a lot of kickback. If my kids are playing a sport and they are not participating, helping, they're not taking that damn award. You're leaving it right there. You're not taking that home. I'm sorry.
Nope.
You want an award? Go get it. Go get it. Like my daughter comes home and she wins part of the sporting stuff. She gets a little medal. That's great. Everybody didn't get a medal, though. You got to make it so they stand out. Why in the Olympics is there gold, silver, and bronze? Why doesn't everyone just get a medal?
Well,
let's give everyone a medal so they all feel great. But no, you're great and you're wonderful because you made it here. But now we have to separate the people who's done more, sacrificed more. Listen, no matter what, when we talk about sacrifice, think about this. And not saying they're not around and not saying this isn't you're not capable of doing this, but tell me one professional athlete, okay, in certain majority sports that came from an abundance of money and a silver spoon in their mouth, that has dominated their sport, okay, become a Hall of Fame athlete, huge sponsorships, and making a shit ton of money. Now, before you call out a name, just remember what I'm asking for. If there's 1 million of them, if you can call out 2, that's great. But that's such a small amount.
I could call out 1 off the top of my head. Jake Paul. The Paul brothers. That's it.
Wait, where's he great?
Not saying he's great. I'm not saying
he's not
like
going
that.
to Hall of Fame for nothing.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is somebody who's making an abundance of money and is glorified in a sport.
What sport is he glorified in?
Boxing right now.
He's glorified by the nobodies of the sport, not the boxers. He is not a real boxer, bro. People sit here and want to glorify this bullshit.
Not saying that he is. I'm not the kind of guy to support him.
I get it.
I'm just saying he's somebody that came from money and is looking like he's dominating a sport.
Listen, when he starts fighting, like, for real, every time you sit there and fight a retired fighter, a fighter that is significantly smaller than you, you fought no one your own size. None.
I agree.
Not one.
I want him to fight Fury's brother.
And also there's a huge size difference, a youth difference, age difference, and the guys that are fighting are literally fight old. They're retired. Like, come on now. So that's not. So look, if you want to say him, cool, Jake Paul. That's one.
I'm just saying, comes from an abundance of money. That's the only person I can think of that does what he does and came from an abundance of money.
And now here we go. Who else?
Nobody.
Okay, so Mike Tyson didn't have an abundance of money, right?
Dude, Tyson came in my mind. And I went, no,
He had nothing.
Nothing.
He had zero.
Literally, boxing was the only thing that he had.
You know, he had to sacrifice to become who he was and make that money. His life, his whole life. Evander Holyfield have money? No. George Foreman? No. Muhammad Ali? What did he have to sacrifice to become great? His freedom. His freedom and his whole boxing career. The say hey days of his boxing career. Because he decided, I'm going to sacrifice this because I believe in something else. And I'm not going to war to kill people that have nothing to do with me. Sacrifice is what reaps the benefit. So people who come across all this money or feel entitled, they never have to sacrifice for anything. Right? So it's like I say, you take two people. One, a rich kid that has a trust fund that plays ball. A poor kid from the inner city on welfare, single parent, okay, that plays ball. All the best coaches, all the help he needs, everything at the fingertips. Even going to college, his father probably is an alma mater somewhere and pays for him to get into the college. This guy's got to go to community college. He's got to do well in his sport and hopefully transfer to another school and continue to play sports, right? And let's say he gets the league minimum, $600,000. This guy signs a contract for $1 million. Who made it?
$600,000.
But why? Because of the amount he had to sacrifice.
Whole
in
life
life
on the line.
Right? This dude ain't sacrificing nothing. How long will his career last? Probably not long at all. This dude's still hungry as shit.
To get that $1 million contract.
You understand? So I feel like you take that away by giving kids trophies for no reason.
Well, that's anything.
Yeah.
That's not even in sports. That's in life.
Exactly.
Kids are hand fed everything. They're given tons of money. They're given all of this stuff for free. Never had to work hard in their life, and they sit there unappreciative of everything around them, and they
feel like they expect everything.
And they're
my client just the other day said to me, Jamal, I don't know what I should do, man. I feel bad, but I'm gonna have to fire this guy. I said, why? Like, why you have to fire somebody? Like, he says, well, he's been with me for over 2 years. Younger kid, smart. The kid graduated from Harvard. I said, yeah, he's smart as shit then. I said, what's the problem? He says, well, he just doesn't get it. And the craziest part is, let's just say I tell him his job when he started, he has to keep a headset on at all times. I don't care where you walk around this building, keep the headset on because of the amount of business we have coming in. And the type of business we have, the type of clientele we have, they need to be answered regularly. That's your job. You need to be at their beck and call to a certain extent.
Got to be accessible.
Do you know how many times within the first year alone I have walked out of my office and he's not at his desk without the headset on? Or sitting at his desk without the headset on? I keep having to tell him the same thing. The amount of mistakes he's made, and stupid little mistakes that cost us a lot of money, that he makes on a regular basis. And he just, oh, I'll do better. I'll do better. I'll do better. And it's been going on for 2 years. 2 whole years. He just lost another deal for us, another contract. And once again, yesterday, I literally had to be like, my man, all I'm asking you for 2 years was to keep the headset on. It's a comfortable headset. Even wear it in the bathroom. Nobody's listening to you until you press the button to answer the phone. All the time. You can put the mic up if you like. It needs to be on all the time. And he says every year he complains about his bonus. And this year, he's wondering if he's getting a raise. He's done absolutely nothing but make mistakes and not follow directions. And he has the audacity to look me in my face and ask for a raise. I have to fire him. I said, yeah, you do.
He would have been gone for the first 2 months.
But where do you feel the need, or where do you feel comfortable saying, listen, so I was wondering if I was going to get a raise, when you've been spoken to and written up number of times? So obviously you know you're not doing your job. And you want to ask for a raise on top of that? What the fuck? Did you fall and bump your head somewhere, fam? What is going on? Like, I don't get it. Another conversation I had. A guy complaining about how everyone on his team should get the same amount during bonus time. I said, okay. So let me ask you a question. If you work with 5 other people and you bring in 90% of the business, and they bring in, between the 4 of them, they bring in 10%. Your 90% equates to $100 million for the company. Their 4% equates to $20 million. Would you be comfortable if you guys all got the same amount? He's like, no. I said, so if you want more, you got to work harder, fam. If you want things to be different, you got to work harder. Now, I can look at you and tell you right now you're a 9-to-5 worker. And he's like, well, I was like, yeah, tell me yes. You're a 9-to-5 worker, right? You're walking in with the boss, correct? You guys are probably getting off the train together, walking in together, clocking in together, right? He hates you. I want you to know that. He hates you. He'll never promote you. You're never going to make more money. You want to know why? Because that's not what he did. What he did was come to work at 7 o'clock, worked the extra 2 hours, and was at his desk when his boss walked in and his boss saw him at his desk already. When did he log in? 7? Wow. He's put in the extra 2 hours already. And when your boss is leaving at 5, you're still at your motherfucking desk, man. You're still working. And when he clocks in the morning, he's like, damn, he stayed an extra 2 hours at night too? That's 4 extra hours. When it comes time for raise, when it comes time for bonus, and when it comes time to make partner, that's the dude he's choosing. Not the dude that's strolling in with him and walking out with him like you're on the same level. As a human being, yes. As a businessman, no.
Way different.
So he will never give you a raise. You will never have a bigger bonus. You will never make partner ever because you are a 9-to-5 worker. You are doing the least bit and trying to benefit from it. So continue, because no athlete that does the least amount of work becomes a professional. No person that does the least amount of work becomes a partner. Doesn't happen that way. Every single athlete and every single professional that becomes a millionaire, that becomes successful at what they do, sacrifice. May it be time, sleep, energy, family, love life, something needs to be sacrificed so you can reap what you sow. And if you ain't willing to sow, you better not be willing to reap anything either. And don't start complaining because you're not making money or you're not reaping the benefit. Benefit of what? You sowed nothing. You sowed nothing. What are you looking to benefit from? For what? The job is from 9 to 5, and this is what you make for it. And that's what you've been doing, so that's what you're going to make. This guy on his own is working, boom, boom, extra on his own. This is no longer his job. He needs to be here. And if he continues to do that here, he's going to be here. And then he's going to be here with me. And then you have to answer to him. And you guys started together. Why? He sacrificed. He put in that work and you did not. He's reaping what he sowed. You did not.
People are always amazed by that. They're always amazed that somebody that came in at the ground level with them, all of a sudden they're at the top of the chain. And it's like, dude, he did 10 times the work. He did 10 times the sales, worked his ass off, dealt with all the customer service issue interactions, and you just sat there and did the bare minimum. You guys are different. You guys are nowhere near the same. Very different mentalities, very different work ethic, and it shows.
Work ethic. That's the key. That is the key. One of my exes, she had a very good job, making a lot of money. And it was so funny because just her personality was just so different than mine. And that's why I think I started dating her, because she was completely to the left of what I was accustomed dating. Okay? And I remember one night she wanted to see where I grew up in Brooklyn. So we drove in and I parked my car at my crib in Brooklyn and we walked the streets to get to the Nostrand Avenue subway. And we go on the subway and there's this old lady and a little boy sitting across from us. This guy gets on the subway and he starts making these crazy, weird sexual noises and looking at the kid. Then he starts to reach for the kid. So the mother, I thought it was a mother, it turns out it was the grandmother. She sits up, slides the kid behind her up against this part of the subway seat and sat down and is like blocking him off from the kid. She starts screaming. Now she's got a Caribbean accent, so I'm like, damn, she's from Trinidad. That's where I'm from. So now all that's going through my mind is that's my grandmother and that's me growing up. The girl grabs me and she's like, Jamal, don't do nothing, yo. And I'm literally at the edge of my seat, like just shifting, waiting for the train to stop moving. The dude just starts going in. Sits down right there, grabbing at the woman. She's using the book she has to hit the dude. The train comes to a stop, and I lump this dude and throw him off the train. Do you know? Not a single person on the train either. That's New York, though. Not a single person on the train picked their head up.
Yeah, of course not, because people don't want.
But I couldn't let
their
it.
problem.
I couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
So I just felt like that was my grandma. You know what I'm saying? And she raised me, so that's my heart. So I was just like, I had to do something. God put me here for this reason. Like I have to. Even if I get shot and killed, I was here. Today was supposed to be my day. I gotta go out with a bang. Might as well. When I sat back down, you know, this girl literally looked at me and said, "You're no different than him. You're just as much of a hoodlum as he is." And I was like, listen,
Damn.
I said, well,
hey, listen, I'll bring him back in if you want.
I guess you're 100% right. At the next stop, you can get off and walk across, take the train back to Nostrand Avenue, find your car and go home. But you won't do that, right? You want me to do it with you, but I'm not. I got on this subway to go into the city. I'm supposed to have a good time tonight, and I will. You don't have to accompany me, though. So on the next stop, get off. And she's like, I'm like, get off. Turns out she ended up being like, just really messed up overall. She was like racist, the whole 9 yards. But she was one of those people who was given a job.
Oh, this was your ex that said that to you.
Yes.
Oh, I thought the woman said it to you after you
No.
defended her.
No.
I was like, damn, I'll bring him back on if you want.
Woman didn't even say thank you. But she was so shaken up.
Yeah, I could
crying, holding the kid. I didn't want to thank you. I don't need that. So this is my ex. So what I'm getting at is she was one of those people who got that job from a family member. Great job. And she would complain every night about not getting promoted. Other people that she worked with, doing less, been at the job less time than she has, got promoted. And I told her, I said, you know, I don't know whether or not you look at what I do as being something that's just like kind of whatever in comparison to your job, but I do make a good amount of money. And the reason I make a good amount of money is because I grind and I work hard. She was like, I work hard too. I was like, no, you don't. She was like, what are you talking about? I said, you have me call you in the morning to wake you up so you can catch the 7:30 train, which puts you on Wall Street at 8:45. And you're walking into work at 9 o'clock with your boss. And you're home here by 6:45. That means you left before 5 to catch a train that's right after 5 with your boss. They'll never give you a raise, honey bun. If you want a raise, you got to do stuff to get a raise. And I said, just try this. How about you take one earlier train and get at work and log in even 30 minutes before the boss gets there. And when he's leaving, wave to him goodbye. Tell him get home safe. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be walking out with him. You are not him. You are not on his level. And see what happens. 4 months later, she gets a raise. You know what they told her? We see that lately, I don't know what changed, but we see that lately you've been putting forth much more effort and doing much more work for us, and we want to give you a promotion or whatever, and hopefully things continue the same way. Plain and simple. Just that easy.
It's weird how that worked, right? So
just
quick.
That easy.
How many years there was she there?
8.
Yeah. Took that long?
8.
Yeah.
I was like, but people just don't, I don't know if they just don't get it.
A lot of these people have also never worked for themselves. I'm not saying that you need to work for yourself, but a lot of people have to have some experience of if you don't go out and get that money, that you're not going to get paid. It's a very different lifestyle and mindset, whereas you just show up and get a check every 2 weeks.
It is.
You know, that's a big shock. Coming from retail for 10 years with me, it's a very big shock to have to switch into a transitional period of, wow, if you don't get deals and you don't get videos and you don't do things,
exactly.
You don't have money.
You don't. I don't think people pay. Like, I know a lot of guys and be like, yo, Jamal, I want to do what you do.
Well, because they think
make a joke.
They think it's easy. They think you're just driving
course.
around all day and fucking around.
They and I'm like, of course. They're like, what are you studying in school? I said, well, if you want to be a good trainer, you need to study psychology. They're like, what? I was like, I'm fucking with you, but you should take psychology, though. The amount of people that you are going to talk to and they're going to unload on you daily. Every day, they just unload and unload on you. It's a lot. And if you do plan on giving advice, you got to make sure at least your advice is along the lines of being somewhere near correct. Because then you giving wrong advice or bad advice could really fuck with people. And you got to be willing to be like, I don't really even know what to say about this, and leave it alone. And not act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about with everything and just give fucked up, stupid advice. So it's a joke when I say psychology, but I tell them all. I'm like, listen, I know you've got like a good amount of sessions going right now, and you got some clients, and you're making some decent money, and it feels great. But just remember, you don't have medical. You don't have dental. You don't have a 401k. Okay? And I don't know if you're still living at home, but you're renting. So if you plan on ever owning a home, and you're going to need medical benefits, because as of right now, if everything I just told you, you go out and get right now, you technically make no money. Okay? Your net worth is not what you make before you pay your bills. It's what's in your pocket after everything is paid. So when somebody says, yo, what do you take home a year? And you want to quickly say $100,000, but your bills are 40? No, you have to say 60, fam. Your take home is not, you're not taking home that money. That ain't your money. That's somebody else's money. Okay? After you pay all that, what you take home then, that's your take home. Okay? So you got $10,000 worth of bills. That's $120,000 that you have to pay a year. That's $120,000 off the amount you think you made, because you ain't take that home. Okay? And usually if it's bills, you ain't getting no money back for that either.
Nope.
So that's how you got to look at life. And if you can't separate things and understand how to deal with cancellations, people's vacations, you going on vacation, right? Dealing with medical, dental, right? And your own insurance if you're a trainer. If you haven't allotted for all of that, then you ain't really making any money, man. I'm sorry. Like, I hate to put it that way, but I have to be the voice of reason for you, because if you're talking to me and asking me what I'm doing, I got to tell you what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing. I've been busting my ass being a trainer for over 25 years. Within the first 10 years of training, I thought I was making a shit ton of money until I ended up having to pay for my own benefits. You know what I'm saying? Come out of my pocket. Now I got rents. At that time, I had mortgage the whole 9 years. I was like, yo, dude, like, I ain't making no money. I had to expand my business now.
It adds up quick.
Exactly. So you got to keep that. A lot of people don't think it. They just look at, oh, Jamal's schedule booked all the time. Like, damn, you're doing like 16 to 20 clients a day. He got to be making bank. It's like, yeah, but I got bills too. Like,
I got to work like this.
I got to work like this. I love to work. I love to hustle. I love to grind, but I have to. Life don't start for me until bills are over with. You know what I mean? So if I say the first 2 weeks of a month is all bills, then that's what it's got to be. I'm not gonna let off the gas for the last 2 weeks, because at least I know that's my cushion, my blanket. You can't let off the gas when you own your own business. You can't let off the gas.
Nope.
But a lot of people don't realize that. They don't see it in the beginning.
Yeah,
They look at the cancellations and be like, I got time.
I got free time, yeah.
Nah, man. That ain't free time, bro. You just lost money. You literally just lost money. Like, that's not free time. Go work out, because you got to burn some stress, because you just made that. That's less money.
Yep, I've been there before, man, where a big deal falls through, a big video project, and all of a sudden the person goes MIA or this and that. You know, I say it a lot. Before COVID, I was set to be making quite a bit of money, like with retainer clients at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was that month, March 2020, man. It was like that month. I got back from Ohio, and then the next month, everybody just said, well, we don't need you on retainer anymore because we're not doing any business, so bye. And that was basically it. I watched deal after deal just fall through, and then just left with nothing.
Yep.
So you got to be able to really be able to pivot and see the whole picture. You know, I had to stop posting so much of my day on my Instagram because I have clients.
Oh, yeah, you're
I
right.
have friends.
I remember that.
But it's not only in those instances. It's just even.
You remember what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but it's also everybody though.
Yeah.
That's not the only person. Like, there's more people than just that act like that towards me. They see me post a bunch of videos of Kenji at the dog park, but what they don't realize is the dog park's across the street from my office, and I got to let the dog out, and he's got to take a piss in the middle of the day. And that's not me hanging out with him all day. That's me letting the dog take a shit because he's been in my office for 4 hours.
And I don't want him to take a shit in here.
I don't want him to take a shit in here. So I had to stop posting a lot of my stuff on stories. Like, my stories were like literally chronological order of my day, and I had to stop because I'd have clients get nasty with me. Why aren't you working on this? Why aren't you working on that? Where's my video? Where's this? Where's that?
I remember.
You know, and that's one instance. There's so many that I've dealt with.
I can imagine.
There's so many that I've dealt with, and it's just it's they don't understand. You know, I have a buddy who who I'm trying to say this the nicest way possible. He doesn't really listen to the podcast, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But I have a buddy that that was clowning me for a long time that I was a 30-year-old, that I was, well, at the time, 27, 28-year-old man living at home still with my mom. And we were at a party for one of our other buddies' girls, and I was talking to my buddy, one of my other buddies at the time, and we're just talking, and renting and stuff like that comes up. We're just talking about life. And this friend comes over, and he basically says, yo, I can't wait to make fun of you when you're 30 and living with Karen still. And I just...
Okay, well, first off, what kind of friend is this? And at what point do you just fucking break his nose?
Yeah, no, I wanted to. Trust me. I wanted to. And I said, we're good.
These are not friends.
Yeah. So I literally looked at him, and I just went, you know, all of my money goes to my business. You don't have to experience that. Like, when I get paid on a deal, since I've started this company, nothing goes in my personal account. It's all in the business account. Because bills get paid from the business account, stuff like that. I technically haven't paid myself in 4 years.
It's a good thing, though. It's good.
Yeah.
The way you're doing this is that's what you got to do.
I technically
A lot
haven't
of people
paid
don't get
myself
that.
in 4 years. Everything
You run
goes
everything
to
through the business. That's going to be great.
Dude, I get paid
in the
by
long run.
Instagram to do reels. Like, they pay me money to put reels up based on the views and based on stuff like that. That goes into the business account, and I track it. I make an invoice from Facebook, tracked, and I put it all in there. Everything is trackable on my business, but it doesn't go in my personal account. So I explained to him, I said, you want to sit there and make fun, or you want to sit there and point fingers and sit there and go, you still live at home. I pay for an office. I pay for all my business expenses. If I worked for somebody, this is what my apartment would be. I would live on my own.
Of course.
All my money would be going to that and my other life, whatever else I'm doing. I wouldn't have to renew memberships, renew subscription services, buy updated gear, learning courses, assets for videos, storage. Storage is fucking crazy. People don't understand. All my hard drives are full over there right now. I'm going to have to get one for the podcast because we're burning through crazy storage with the podcast clips. I'm going to have to get one for the podcast and for my business. Bro, just for a storage device that'll probably last me for a year. And if anybody knows how to do any network storages, I've been learning and trying to dabble in it, and it's just so much information that I just don't have time to learn it right this second. Mm-hmm. If somebody knows, please message me because I need to create some type of a NAS drive that I can offload all my storage on mass server. But just to get hard drives that'll last me for about a year, they're about like $1,200. That's $2,400 right there. One for business, one for podcast. Mm-hmm. That's on me, fam. Yeah. Like, no one's paying that for me. I don't go to my boss. Hey, by the way, boss, I need this for work. It's me.
Yeah.
Surprise. So I told him all this, and then I had to hit him with a zinger. I said, this is also coming from the kid that lives in his grandmother's home that passed away and left him the house.
You didn't buy it.
You didn't pay for that. That's very.
You know what closing costs cost?
It's very weird.
Down payments, all that. No,
it's very weird how you'll point fingers at me and say I can't wait to make fun of you because you do this. But meanwhile, you got a great little handout right there. No one's leaving me shit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so people don't understand what it means to work for yourself and everything to be on your shoulders, and how work is literally on your mind 24/7. When I clock out on a Friday. Do we really have Fridays, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That's the
when you own your own business, it's on Friday.
Yeah. People, clients ask me all the time. They go, "Do you shoot on the weekends?" Yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll shoot on the weekends.
Every day, 7 days a week.
Shit. Let me know where we're going. I'll go. But when you clock out on a Friday, because I worked retail for 10 years, when you clock out, you don't have any work for the next 2-3 days. You don't have to think about it.
Nothing. Zero.
Not a thought goes into. When I worked at Apple,
stress free.
Actually, I won't even say Apple because Apple's retail. I'll say when I worked at that audio video company, because it did require a little more hands on than Apple. Because you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with job sites, you're dealing with builders, architects, all that stuff. You're kind of just you're more on call than retail.
Yes.
So when I worked at that job, though, when I was clocked out, generally my mind was zero on anything that had to do with the business.
Yes.
Generally. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you get a call and you start thinking about things, or a deal falls through, or a shipment is late and the client's pissed. You got to deal with all that. But generally, when I was done, I didn't have to think about shit. Now, when I started this business, and I was already doing that at the time, my mind I started to see how clients are asking where the video is. You know, you have to put the video out. You got to get things. You got to set up the shoots. You got to send them paperwork. And then it becomes a very time consuming, inhibiting thing that you have to.
Too, like
yes, you have to. You really have to learn how to fan it out. And over the years, I've been good and bad at that because I've always taken on sometimes more than I could at times because people go, "Oh, just hire somebody." Then I got to pay that person.
Yeah,
I got to pay that person. I'd rather do it all. If I can do it all on me.
Once you got to do payroll, that's a whole another stress.
That's what I'm saying. And if it's all on me now, oh, well, Nick, just hire somebody. They could just work for you and this and that, blah, blah. Okay, but what happens on the roller coaster ride of entrepreneurship that next month, maybe the videos are a little light that month. I still got to pay this fucking person.
You do.
So now I'm really taking a loss. There's a whole different animal.
Nobody understands that.
It's a big animal working for yourself. And I'm not complaining. I love it. I don't think I could ever work for somebody anymore.
Well, we couldn't do what we do if we didn't love it, right? Like my mother, she's on the phone the other day and she's like, "Yo, I'm starting to worry about you." I said, "Why?" She's like, "Well, you don't sleep." I said, "Yeah, but Mom, I've never slept." I was like, "You know that?" Like, I mean, since I was 13 years old, I'm maybe doing 2-3 hours a night. Like, that's just what I'm accustomed to. She's like, "Yeah, but you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't get back to even lay down till after 12. I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "I put in literally 21-hour days, hands down." I said, "Yeah, last night I was doing," I'm telling you right now. Side note, fuck the Stairmaster, fuck the treadmill, fuck all that. Last night I pushed the sled for 30 straight minutes. I set the clock.
Just down and back?
One way all out sprint. Hard, big strides, going back. Sprint, hard, 30 straight minutes. Bro, death. It felt so good. I literally felt like every bit and every stress of my day was gone because I was fighting for life. I was about to drop dead. I said, "God damn.
I'm going to have to call Nikki to come pick me up."
Shit, this is perfect. But at 12:30 at night, that's what I'm doing, right? And that was the only downtime, aside from the workout time I have allotted throughout the day. But even still, I'm training clients up until I work out, and immediately I'm literally pushing the envelope, trying to finish a workout as my client's walking in, right? But I only do it because I have to. That's my business. If I don't do that, I don't make money. And if I start falling off, that means my business falls off. It's only me. I'm a one-man army just like you. One mistake, and then either you're bad-mouthed, you're broke, you know what I'm saying? You got to rebuild. Like, I don't think people understand that, man. Last night, I finished up the workout, and I'm getting ready to just, like, dry up and head home. I'm like, damn. I did over 84 hours already, and it's only Thursday this week. You know? So people are like, "Yo, I want to do what Jamal does." Really? You sure?
You built like that?
Because you love to sleep, my man. I've called you 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the day sometimes. You still knocked out. So I hope you know what this entails. So a lot of people can point the fingers and all that shit, but the truth is, like, it's very hard to own your own business. It's much more of a grind than you ever thought. When you think I'm going to put in double time so I can make extra money, that's just you working. Like, you're just working. And then when you're done, you're done. You leave it and you go home. You never leave your own business. You're married to this shit. So last night, I'm done. I'm headed home. My phone's going off with text messages about people needing to reschedule, move things around. I'm like, fuck. Just because you saw me doing cardio and you know I'm up, you feel it's okay to hit me up? And it is, because I answer, because it's my business. Right? Mm-hmm. We just have to do it. People don't take that stuff into consideration.
They don't.
And that's why some people will start up a business and fail. They think it's easy.
Well, I think
it's all money.
I think Instagram has made it look like everybody could be an entrepreneur when they don't necessarily need to be.
And I know the behind the scenes, man.
I forget who was saying it. It might have been Gary Vee. Might have been it's one of the influencers and gurus, quote unquote, that talk about entrepreneurship and business and whatnot. You know, they were saying it's okay to work for somebody else and still put in a ton of work at that company and rise in that company. You don't have to own your own thing. You don't.
Some people just don't. Some people aren't built for it. Some people can't.
Yeah.
Listen, before this whole stuff going on with like my supplement company, I didn't think I had the time or the mental capacity to take on more. With my workload as just a trainer, I didn't think I had it, bro. I was like, you know what? I definitely need a partner. But push come to shove, I don't. And, you know, some people talk about being uncomfortable and sacrifice, like I said before. And the truth is, I was just telling a lady at the florist the other day, she just opened a business. She's stressed. She's worried. I said, be stressed and be worried, because after that's over, growth will happen. Just don't let off the gas.
There's been so many months over the course of me doing my own thing where I don't have the next month fully set up yet. Like I maybe have somebody that says, yo, Nick, I want to shoot something. I want to do something next month. I want to do something. Okay. And then nothing transpires from it. And I'm sitting there going, well, shit, it's the end of February, or it's the end of, like, you know, just give you an example of this month. It's the end of February and March ain't set up yet. And you start getting a little tick.
Mm-hmm.
Just
start worrying.
But have faith.
Yes.
Have faith, because every single time, book the fuck up every month. It's been like that since I started this at the end of 2018.
Yeah.
Every month, I start freaking out. Damn, next month don't look great.
Yo, but that fear does something to you, though, bro.
Yeah, man. Make you
Once
follow
you
up.
start
Make you
scaring-
follow up with a motherfucker.
Once you stop being scared, it's over. I think it's over. Same thing. It's like in a relationship. Once you stop being worried that someone else can court your girl, I don't know, man. You start to let off the gas. You start to not show her enough. You start not to give enough, not to pay attention, and all that. Then you wonder why she ended up with somebody else. How? You let off the gas, man. Like you gotta do that. You can't let off the gas, fam. You can't at all.
It's funny that you actually said something like that because, sorry for everybody listening to that. A little TikTok. Yep, there she is again. Venezuelan chick. Lord. So there was a question on, there was a response on Dre's video, and it was a dude saying, it was kind of like that low-level threat between guys and men.
Yes.
And obviously Dre ain't here, but I have somebody who's very like-minded.
Yes.
That can answer
love Dre
this.
too. Great dude.
Love Dre.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get the three-way podcast.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the realest shit.
It's gonna be fucking
That's
awesome.
gonna be the realest shit ever.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
But the dude commented on that video and he said that's the exact reason a 5'2" man doesn't talk crazy to a dude twice his size unless he knows some shit. So you are the king of knowing people that are all sizes that could beat the brakes off anybody. So I just thought maybe you could say 2 words about that real quick.
I mean, yeah, you know, what he's saying is technically 100% right. You know, it's like people tend sometimes to forget the fact that men are men. Like even when people will put up videos, and forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, don't mean any disrespect or anything like that, but they put up videos of, let's say, a homosexual male that's dressed like a transsexual,
Okay.
wearing heels or whatever it is, and a straight guy disrespecting him. But then the dude in the heels beats the shit out of him. You forgot that's still a man, though. He may act this way because he wants to or he feels this way. He's still just as strong as a man. He still will hit you like a man. He still will get mad like a man. Okay? So sometimes in certain situations, people forget that men are men. Listen, a lot of men like combat, some don't. So You can tell because certain people will get through in middle of conversation. Like when I was younger, I could laugh and joke about everything. The moment you're like, yeah, man, you crazy, man, your mother. You're picking your teeth up. You would cross the line that quick with me and I would lose my shit. Not saying that was right. That was good. That was wrong. I was very loose when I was young. Was not cool. That is not, I'm not condoning that. That is not cool. But
that's been in your developmental process over the years.
Exactly. So yes, when you're in conversation with another man, even if it's a friend sometimes, if they overstep, you got to be like, yo, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. This energy is about to change, right? It's always there, no matter what. Why you think, like, I got to catch myself sometimes, right? We're in the gym, and we talked about this before. And my cousin say it again. Fab says it too. But Fab is more so like, yo, Jamal, man, fuck that, and wants to bang. Because I'm like, other people will notice it more than I do initially because I don't really like to pay attention to shit. I just kind of do my thing and bounce. But they'll just be like, yo, homeboy is just eyeing you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And the moment they bring it up, I'm just like looking now. Now I'm looking. I'm just like, the fuck are you looking at, right? To the point where one day I'm just like, yo, you know what? Next time I turn around and he's looking at me, I'm about to go over and be like, yo, my man, you good? Like, because I'm done with this, right? And sure enough, I had my back turned, bending down to pick up a weight, and all I hear is, excuse me, sir. That's it. And it's that dude. So I get up, I'm like, what up? And he's like, I was watching you do chest, right? I watch you work out, and you just be going, bro. I think it's phenomenal, but like your chest is like built. Meanwhile, it's just very weird, the conversation. Your chest is built so crazy. Like, how do you get that cup underneath? Like, what exercise should I do? Should I use this machine? And I'm like, damn, here I am, ready to fucking blast off. And all he's doing is trying to see what I'm doing. And this is my job. Now I feel like a complete dickhead. But that's the mentality.
Yeah.
So I have some clients and cousins that would be like, Jamal, he's probably looking at you because he's wondering what you do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or he's seen you on the podcast, or he's...
But the initial reaction when a man is staring at you is like, the fuck are you looking at? Or if you're timid, you turn away.
Dude, I was at Topgolf the other day, and I was watching dudes at another table eyeing me down. I was talking, and I was watching them the entire time, too. I'm like, I wasn't staring back, but corner of my eye. Like if someone's gonna say something, because you notice if it's a one thing, they look and then they turn away. Like we just caught eyes with each other, whatever. It's no big deal. But you can see when have a little counsel, they turn, they start talking, and then they look back at you, and then you turn into. You could just sense that as a man. It's
of course,
and I don't know if it's as much as a man or as street awareness or whatever it was. Listen, I went to school at Quinnipiac up in Connecticut. I tell a lot of my friends this shit. I'm very thankful that I was cultured as a child. And this goes into, this actually goes into the Joe Rogan stuff we want to talk about. I was cultured as a child where my mom had friends of all nationalities. Are you cold, by the way? Want me to turn this off?
No. You good.
Okay, you let me know. You let me know. 'Cause sometimes I freeze people out.
You know I wanted 200 degrees in here?
Dude,
I love the heat, bro.
This isn't heat. This is fucking cold.
I know it is. I love the heat, man. Like that's just me.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, I'm used to having it like Kenji.
Degrees. I got the sweatshirt and everything on, bro. I love it, and the windows closed. No
all right, you let me know because sometimes guys are like, "Damn, it's cold in here."
Talk to me nice.
So, when I went away to school, all the clubs and all the spots to go drinking at are 20 minutes away in New Haven. Mm-hmm. New Haven is a very rough place if you're not familiar with it.
Yep.
I know you probably get it, but a lot of people that may be listening, they've never experienced it or been there, this and that. You could tell dudes that bang. You could tell dudes that gang bang that are, looking for trouble, looking for problems. And every single time, lone white kid walking around, if they really wanted to give me a problem, it's pretty easy to, But I'd see them, they walk by me, or I'd see them in the club. You always tell the head dude, you always tell who the head dude is, this and that, and just go, what's going on, man? Just walking by. Just, I see you, you see me, no threat, we're cool here. There's no egos involved, I'm not doing that. But a lot of these little white kids would get fucked up because they thought they were tough and run their mouth. So what would happen was all the black dudes would hang out in the park. And what would happen is we'd leave the clubs and go to the buses that would take us back to campus. Mm-hmm. And the cops would be by the buses because they knew this was an area for a little bit of violence if it really wanted to pop off.
Yeah.
Once again, I walk by. What's going on, man? Have a great night. Just being calm, cool, collect. you get these fucking kids that these dudes want to rile them up. They say something they say something about their girl. They say something about them, this and that, and they're dropping N-bombs at these dudes. And then the cops get involved because they're blocking them off from these kids. And I'd have to talk to these kids. I'd be like, yo, you would never say that if the cops weren't right there. You're a bitch. You're riling them up. And a lot of these kids would get fucked up because they would say shit like that. I'm like, why have I never gotten fucked up, but you all seem to have problems all the time? Like, it's respect. You don't have respect everybody.
I tell you one thing. That is one thing that just rubs me. Like, you've known me for a while. When it comes to racism and shit like that, I just don't like it, man. I really don't. You know, my family looks like the United Nations, bro, and I love that. I don't like...
Not to cut you off, melting pot. What we talked about when we first sat down.
Yeah.
Love that. Everyone learns something from everybody.
Absolutely. The most, like, it's just, it's a shame that things like this still go on to the capacity it does. And I mean, I chalk it up to just ignorance. You know what I mean? I've dealt with my fair share. I've dealt with a lot of racism in my life, and, you know, coming from older people or police or whatever it is. But, you know, when it comes to older people, I try not to even think about it, because I'm like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Just
die soon
let
anyway.
it be. Like, what am I going to do? Fight an old person? Argue with an old person? You're never going to change their views. They've thought like that all their life. Like, just whatever. It's unfortunate, and you got to have thick skin for it. You got to be able to just turn around, walk away, and just don't let it eat away at you, and just try and just move past it and leave it alone. Just call it ignorance and leave it alone. Don't let it affect your day, your life, or anything like that. And don't let it affect the fact that whatever nationality that person was means that all of them are like that. Don't. You know what I'm saying? And
that's one viewpoint.
And it's very hard to do that. So, like, I remember when one of my exes told me that her family was extremely, extremely racist and hate black people. I said, damn, well, so what happened in their life that made them feel this way? Nothing. I said, okay, they owned a store, right? Was the store broken into, robbed, vandalized by black people? Did one of them get raped, beat up, or whatever by a black person? What just causes the fact that, or the view to just hate a whole race?
And then trickle that down on your kids.
But then not even have a reason. Is your reason ignorance? Is your reason fear? And the way you fight fear is to boast your chest up and want to talk trash about the person? Just like, you know, it's like an insecurity thing, right? Like, I'm not a great basketball player, right? I say this all the time. If it came to kickboxing, if it came to football, baseball, swimming, track, you could talk all the trash to me you want before our event. I would just look at you, dead stare, not say a single word, and then smoke your shit. I'm confident in those departments. When it comes to basketball, I will talk the most trash before the game starts, and before I have the ball in my hand. I will talk the most. I can jump out of the building, but I can't dribble. I can't shoot. I can't do shit. All right, now I'm exaggerating, but
no, me
I
and you,
will
man.
talk so much trash. Why? I'm trying to get underneath the skin of the person that I know is above me.
Rile him up.
He's a better player than me. I can hopefully get him riled up to the point where he'll just make mistakes. He'll start trying too hard. So when people just automatically want to hate a race and talk trash about a race, but have never come across anything, I don't know where it comes from. To me, that's just fear. It's an insecurity thing. It has to be. What more could it possibly be? I just don't get it. Like, I never understood that.
Sheltered in their own little world.
Like, it's sad, but it goes on. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we were going to talk about the Joe Rogan statement. And before we do, I'll tell you, I had a friend. He's no longer a close friend. We just kind of lost touch. But he was a white kid, grew up in the hood, listened to only rap music, you know, wore only Jordans. Like, I hate to say it, but he was like more black than some of the people in the neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the way he felt and acted. Only dated black girls. But every once in a while, he would drop the N-word. And I'd be like, yo, chill, bro. Like, I understand that you're not. No, come on now. You know I'm not racist. I'm like, I know, but listen to what I'm saying. I know you're not. Okay? but I feel you're like getting a little too comfortable. And I'm not upset with you. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to help you. What do you mean?
It's more embarrassing for him.
Okay. I said, now, 1, you don't sound right. 2, you don't look right. 3, I can't say I'm giving you a pass because I understand why you talk like this, why you act like this. But I will tell you this, if you come to my family barbecue this summer and you do that by mistake, my cousins will beat you to death. I just want to let you know that. I'm not going to be able to do anything to help you. They don't give a fuck if you're my friend or not. So what I'm trying to do is take that word out of your vocabulary just in case, so you don't make a mistake in front of the wrong people and get your shit split wide the fuck open. People are not going to give you the leeway that I've given you, and people are not going to understand like I understand. And it still makes me feel uncomfortable. And I do know you're not racist, but I get it. Like, this is your life. This is what you're around. It's what you hear. It's the slang you hear all the time. If you were on the phone with someone, no one would know that you are white. So I understand.
Heavily rooted.
But you got to be careful, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you right now, you slip up at a family barbecue and they're beating the brakes off you, boo. Dude, and there's nothing I could do about it. I'm the smallest one in the family. I can't get in between them savages, bro. Like, come on.
Big ass family.
And he's just like, yeah, but you know, I said, no, man. It's not about you, no. I'm trying to help you, dude. And luckily, nothing ever came of it.
Slipped out.
It's just such a weird situation. Like, when you sent me the clip, no,
you sent me the clip.
Yes, my cousin sent me the clip.
You sent me the clip and you said, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, because my cousin sent me a clip being like, yo, ain't this your boy? Don't you like this dude podcast? And sent me the clip. And it was just him saying the word, the N-word, over and over again. And I said, and I immediately sent it to you, and I said, damn, bro, what the fuck is this? Remember?
Yeah. I was at a shoot.
And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like heartbroken.
Yeah.
I said, nah, Joe, come on, not you, bro.
And I didn't stand up for him. And
you didn't. You didn't.
And no, I'm not saying like I gotta defend
of course.
anything like that. But what I did say was, race stuff is always very touchy for everybody.
For everyone.
Me too, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't like other people to feel like if I'm talking about something that I'm disrespecting them, their viewpoints, how they feel, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I had the conversation last week with Dave, Dave had his own viewpoints on it as well. So here's my issue with that video that was made. That was made because the media is trying to take Joe Rogan down.
I agree.
And they are doing whatever they can to tarnish over 2,000 episodes of really good podcasting without any type of talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe came out with the statement that I sent you, and he said, I was quoting famous comedians, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He said, even watching that all in progression, I'm very uncomfortable myself with that. And he did say, like, now I know. You're a grown-ass man. You know you're not supposed to use the word. Listen, it's weak.
Some people, and I can see, I'm saying this.
You're
to Joe
not
Rogan.
supposed to use the fucking
Yes.
word. You're a white dude. Like, listen, there's some people that get irritated. They're like, well, black people say it all the time. And I'm like, regardless, though, doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean you can. Like, if they want to use a word that was used in a very dark way for them back in the day, and they want to use that more as an endearing term in slang, that does not mean that you are allowed to use it.
Exactly.
And listen, it's tough. It's in music. I'd be lying if I said I don't sing rap lyrics by myself.
Yeah, of course.
I'd be lying if I said I don't do that.
Of course.
However, you have to have an understanding that what you sing in your privacy is not what you do in public. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
And that's not maliciously. That's not in a racist way.
Of course.
So
Just like in the movie White Chicks, where they were like, "What you said the N-word?" They were like, "Yeah, but nobody's around. All they're doing is singing a song. It's one thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't curse. Well, that's a lie. I can't say I don't curse in front of my kids, but I try not to, right? I try not to. When I'm in the car and, there's a bad word, my daughter will be like, Dad, The language. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. And I turn it off or whatever. But, it's I get that. That's not what perturbs me at all. I'm
going to let you. I want you to finish. I want you to tell me your statement.
Finish.
And then my last part of it is, you're a comedian. You're a host for shows on TV, and this is obviously earlier on in his podcast, and even in the middle of it. He's been doing these podcasts for over 10, 12 years now. So you're recording all of this and putting it on the internet for it to live forever. Mm-hmm. You might not want to put shit out there like that.
Agreed.
Which is already a controversial word for everybody. Mm-hmm. So I said to Dave, Dave was very in favor of, he was on the side of it's not a big deal. And I had no idea Dave was black, first and foremost. I had no fucking idea. I was like, he shocked me when we were talking. I went, I listened to the recording. I felt like I sound like an idiot. I kept going every now and then. I'm like, you're black? Like, I was looking at him like, I was like, no fucking way, stop it.
I knew. I didn't know you didn't know. When
I
you
had
told
no
me, I was
clue.
like, yeah, I know.
I literally told Dre, I said, I'm glad I'm not a closet racist and saying shit to Dave. Like,
exactly. But no. But he's got a good point, because it's like,
he said in his opinion, we only give as much power to a word as we allow it. Mm-hmm. He said, so if it's an endearing term for friends and stuff like that, which is how it's used 99% of the time.
Yes,
that's the vibe that you get now. Even he said, if I now say that I forget the word that he used, but if I now say a ladder or a toaster is a derogatory term for a white male or a black male, that's me giving power to that. That word meant nothing in terms of that before that. So now I'll let you stop. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, not at all. So I just I do feel that at certain points, and a lot of celebrities, majority of celebrities, had his back, because I guess they feel like they know him.
Yeah, David Goggins,
Chappelle.
And
they know that he's not a racist in that way. And there's and I gotta say, I would agree to a certain extent. I do feel like you have to be a little more candid with stuff. Like you say, he's a comedian. Yes, he's a comedian, but he's not a comedian like Dave Chappelle or anybody like that. He's a podcast host. He's a host.
He's a B-C list comedian.
Yes. So, those guys push the envelope with a lot of things, and you see they get backlash. But the things they get backlash for are not like this, right? So he's getting backlash. And I don't think that he was doing it maliciously. But I also think that because he has those caliber of celebrities as friends, I think he felt comfortable in using that word, knowing that people would not even think that he meant it in a derogatory way. That is what I think he was doing. It's just like my old friend who would use the word because it's something he's accustomed to. And how could you even possibly think I'm racist? All my friends and family are, all my friends and everybody I'm around, my girl, everything is black, And I get that. But I'm just saying it's not cool. And it's the same thing with him. I don't think he's a racist.
Doesn't give you a pass.
But it doesn't make it right, So coming out and apologize, it's great. That's cool. It doesn't give you a pass, but you gotta with the avenue you have and the platform, you gotta be careful. Like with him talking about how he talks about COVID and the government and stuff like that, he's using it for something positive to educate people, right? And that's great. But now the problem is, too, what you got to realize is when you do that and you have 50 million viewers that love you and hear you using the word, you got to remember, now the people that are closet racist or openly racist feel like they could openly use the word.
Because they heard him say it.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate. Just like Charles Barkley used to say back in the day, I'm not your role model. I am not your kid's role model. I don't live my life like that. Don't look at me. Don't look at what I'm doing. I am not a role model. I get it, but you are. You're out in the light. If you don't care what's going on and how people see you and all that, that's cool too. But just realize the things that you do say will come out and bite you in the ass at certain points in life. you know? And a part of me feels bad. Like, it feels bad for him because I love the guy. I think he's great. It definitely took me for a surprise. And then when I realized that when I look back into it, that he was either saying the lyrics of a song or reiterating what someone was saying. And in order to not lose the effect of what they were saying, he said the word, and they were just cutting it and putting it in pieces. Then I realized, I'm like, oh, okay.
It's the same people that don't want him doing these COVID.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly. So then when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. They're after the dude. I get it. But you just got to be careful. He's got to definitely be careful in the way he says things.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he has.
Everybody does.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't dropped that in years.
No,
but at the same time, I
so.
also, I don't think he ever will ever again now. Like, that was almost like that.
So you got checked.
Yeah.
You literally got checked.
It
was a good gut check.
You got enough rope to hang yourself, and you almost did. You almost slipped there. So you got to be fucking careful. Listen, it's such a touchy thing for everybody, and it really is. And you just gotta.
So I worked at New York Sports Club, right, for a long time actually, and there was a girl. She was about to lose her job. I walk into the office and she's crying. And I'm a softie when it comes to jobs, bro. Like, I feel like everybody needs to work. Everybody needs to have a job. I hate to hear you lost your job and you're jobless. I hate that. So she's like, I'm about to get let go. I said, why? She was like, quota's coming and I'm short sessions. I said, why are you waiting? You only have like 2 weeks left. Why are you waiting till now to be worrying about that? You should have been hustling before. How many sessions are you short? She was like, 17. I said, all right, look, I'm going to go upstairs and buy a package for 20. Book them out from now till the end of the day, the end of the thing. So put me in for 2 sessions today, like you trained me twice or whatever, and whatever. I get a crazy discount here. It's not like I'm spending a ton of money, but when you make the money back, eventually you can give it back. It'll help you keep your job. She was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I did that. She kept her job. Within a month of still having her job, after making it past this quota, it was November, and we have a new manager, and he's like, listen, we have a lot of different cultures that work with us, and I think it's great, and he's from Africa. So he says, Thanksgiving is coming. I would love to do a little potluck where everyone brings something from their culture, and we can share it, like our Thanksgiving here.
That's dope.
And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, I'll make jerk chicken or something.
Anyone bring the oxtail?
That's my favorite, but I can't make it. I gotta leave it to my mom. But so everybody's going around. I was sitting in the room, going around, saying what we're gonna bring, and he's making a list. He gets to this girl. You would never think this, bro. To this day, me even saying it is just so bogus. So, what would you like?
So-and-so.
And she stands up. Nobody else stood up. But she stood up and said, well, unfortunately, I can't participate in this because in my house, we believe that all niggers, spics, and Jews are going to hell because they're dirty and evil. So I'm not going to participate. And sat back down. I said, whoa. So I literally just start giggling at first because I think this has to be a joke, right? And then I'm like, what the fuck? Ben, who's a manager, is like, listen, everybody, please just leave the room. Stay right here.
Oh, my God.
We need to talk. And I'm like, so I'm livid at this point. So now everybody at this point is livid because you got black people working there, Spanish people, Jewish people. So I'm just like, dude, I'm livid. I'm standing at the door waiting for her to come out because I got to give her a piece of my mind. And he's in there and he tells me that he says to her, okay, why do you feel using those words are appropriate? You say it all the time. He's like, no, you've never heard me say that. She's like, you don't say it at work, but come on now, you say it. And he's like, no, that's actually not a word I use. But either way, why do you feel the need to use that word and so comfortable in using that word? She's like, please, everybody says it. It's not like a secret. Do you know management fought for her to keep her job? The broad couldn't even make quota, and she couldn't even keep her job, and they fought for her to stay there. And she
above the black dude, the African dude?
Yeah. The black dude had to go and tell the general manager, because that's who does the firing and the hiring. And the general manager to the regional manager, district manager, fought for her to keep her job. She ain't even a good trainer. She didn't even have a good clientele base, nothing. And she was blatant about it too. Blatant. Yes, that's what I said. And she still works there to this day.
Oh my God.
Can you believe that? How?
I can't.
How?
I can't believe that nobody jumped her.
How? I'm just like, it's sad. That situation is just sad, bro.
Was she Christian or Catholic?
Yeah, she's a.
Someone's got to let her know that Jesus most likely wasn't white. So someone's got to clue her into that
like,
because.
I think she was like, I don't know what nationality she was, but
well, someone's gonna have to
she
give her
grew
that
up like
heads up.
born in native to Garden City. That's where she lived.
Yeah, there you go.
She was just
someone's
crazy.
gonna have to clue her in on that because that'll be another heart attack when she eventually goes. When she's confronted with
It's crazy. I think.
somebody that looks darker than her, giving her judgment. Then, hey, remember when you said this? It wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good
way to end it off.
That's a bang right there, bro.
Crazy bitch.
Into the Batcave, bro.
Always.
Episode 20.
This is great.
The winning circle. That's what we should call this.
It's
the
fucking just going and going and going.
It's going, baby. We got a lot more shit. I got looking for people to cut podcast clips up for me because there's too many clips. There's too many clips to cut.
Dude,
And I need to figure
great.
I need to figure
Going
some shit
great.
out. And we got more stuff. And then once again, I'm deciding whether I'm gonna do an office or home and do everything at the house
Yeah.
and this and that. I know I have to do my editing at home still. I know that's imperative. I need to get back to having my editing at home because I like to edit at off hours.
Yeah.
Because I play Xbox till like midnight, and then all of a sudden I get a creative bug, and I'm like, damn, man, my fucking computer, like my hard
Yeah,
drives are at
exactly.
my office at over here.
So it's best for you to do that there.
Yeah, so when I get an apartment, I don't know if it's better that I keep this space just for the podcast or go somewhere else just for the podcast, and then have a 2-bedroom for the office
Yes.
and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got time. If anybody knows of any spots, let the kid know. I'm looking.
Hands down.
But episode 20 with my brother Jamal.
My man.
It's my man. Love you.
Always.
On that note, appreciate y'all. Peace.